Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So in today's Star Citizen video, we are going to take a look at some salvage panels in 4.2. This is a test I do every single patch, well mostly every single patch I should say. And we're going to just test on how the panels are doing. Now, I know I'm going to get comments that, you know, panels were never really meant to be in the game and it was a testing bed, and I'm pretty sure we're all aware of that, right? It was supposed to be a placeholder for probably something else or just to test how salvaging was. However, it's kind of become part of the game now. It used to be where we would find some like random derelict ships instead of the panels, but here we are with our panels still. So over the patches, panels have gone from like 11 SCU per large panel to 9 SCU to 5. And now, guys, I can tell you right now, after some testing, we are down to like about 3.8, 3.9 SCU on a large panel. That is not a lot. Why they are nerfing it, I don't know. Even at 7 SCU per large panel, salvage was still not the king of like AUEC per hour. So why they are nerfing these panels and not just taking them out, I don't know why they'd be doing that, but it's basically almost become where panels are obsolete now. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this test, guys. I want to show you that. I want to show you in like a live video of me scraping it live so you can see exactly what we're getting off of it. I'm going to be using the same salvage heads, the abrade salvage heads, as I've always used in all the other videos. And yeah, let's go take a test and let's see how much it actually got nerfed again. Okay guys, we are coming up on our panels, and this was a 14,000 signature. So we're going to see what we can get here. So we've got quite a bit of debris. I see a large panel right there, which is perfect for our test. So let's come up in here. Let's get ourselves positioned on this large panel. Now remember guys, prior to this patch, we were getting about 5 to 5.1 SCU off of these large panels. That was the nerf from like maybe 2 patches ago. I think it was a 4.0. They took it down. So we are going to check this out. Okay, so I'm on trawlers. We're not going to use trawlers. We're going to use the abrades for this test. So we're in line with all the others. We're going to get within about 35. And we're going to start this scrape. I am going to move the heads out just a little bit, just a hair. And I understand, guys, why people actually like the salvage, you know, like these panels. You know, it's kind of a chill way. You scan, you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're not in the combat zone, which is where most player ships are, which is most NPC ships are. And even on the, you know, the non-verified, the unverified tab, you know, you take the risk of when you're out there salvaging, like if the bounties pop up, they do that to me all the time. I'll be salvaging one of those and it'll pop up. Then you have the regular salvage missions that don't even kind of pay out enough to even make this worth it. You know, you pay 50K for one of those missions and you barely make sometimes a 20K profit off of it, depending on which ship it is, of course. But yes, there are workarounds to salvage, like you can have friends or you can yourself call your own ship and create what we call insurance fraud, where you just go out and strip your own ship. But you know, I get that people kind of like this gameplay. Salvaging these panels isn't something that I do a lot, especially since they nerfed it down to like 5 and now probably less. Right now, we're mostly through this front side here. I'd say about 50% done, and we're only at 1.4, 1.5. So definitely not looking good. So what do you guys think as we're scraping this panel? Like, where would you like to see salvage head? Like, leave me a comment. I'm kind of curious. Like, I get such different answers on this because being that salvage is one of my favorite game modes. It's something that I hope they improve a lot on. It's something that I'd like to do in the game a lot more. But you know, with them keeping nerfing stuff and not making the AUEC per hour like really worth it. Now, if you're like salvage and it's just something that you're gonna do and you don't care about the AUEC, but in a game where the only thing there is to do right now is gain AUEC and buy these spaceships, you know, it's hard to keep people interested in these. Okay, and we're gonna flip around to the other side here. We're at, let's see here, we're at 2.5 SCUs. Did not mean to hit that. Meant to hit the gimbals. A little bit closer on 30. We'll make sure we get all the top side of this panel. I want this to be kind of a good balanced test here. Yeah, I'd definitely like to see them give us, you know, a little bit more on salvage. There's so much that can be done, and I'm looking forward to the day that, like, you know, our group, when we go on, like, you know, salvage fiestas, we strip ships, ships of the weapon, and even though you can't sell them or anything, every once in a while you find some good stuff like NVDs, attritions, and things like that on the player ship, which is fun. And you do find some components and things, which again you can keep, but they're not really worth anything to sell. So, like, once you get one of those, and once your ships are loaded out, salvaging becomes null because, you know, you've already got them. So then you're forced to sell them to other players, which doesn't always work out the best. So I'm just really looking forward to them putting some extra stuff in the game, especially like me being able to sell things to other players, like a better foundation, which they've already talked about, and I'm definitely looking forward to. So here we are, guys. Like I said, I've gotten just about all of this salvaged, and we are only at 3.8. This is not... I don't know why they're doing this. If you guys have an answer, or maybe they're just phasing these panels out, which could be the answer right there, but why not just take them out of the game? It doesn't make any sense to leave an asset in there that nobody really wants to do. You're scraping a large panel, only getting 3.8 off a large panel with the braids, and I can tell you right now, you are not getting much more with the cinch modules. I tested it with both, but since most people, like, a braid is like the module that many people use, most people use, because it's the best balance for time per AUEC. That's why we're doing the test with this. So yeah, guys, that's kind of it as far as our salvage test goes. The trawler modules that I put on this, I was testing those, and I can tell you now, it wasn't even worth really showing you guys. It doesn't scrape well at all. I think on a large panel I was getting like 3.3, but it was taking almost the same exact time that the abrades were, and I was getting more material despite the beam being so much larger. It's like the beam hits, like if I switch to it, it's like the beam hits and it spreads out, but it doesn't gather the material fast on the outer edges of the beam. So I'm not sure what they're gonna do with that exactly. I know that it was supposedly made for the reclaimer, but even on the reclaimer we switched to abrades because it's just a lot more efficient. But okay, guys, that's enough talking. That is our salvage test to show kind of another salvage nerf for 4.2 coming up. I expect in the next patch or the next couple of patches that they are going to probably either lower it more. I mean, it's been a constant nerf until I guess the panels are just not a thing anymore, and they're just forcing you to do ships, which will definitely not be worth it right now, AUEC wise. Scraping ships is not the best way to make AUEC per hour if that's what you're going for, and not just going for the gameplay, right? After a while, I think everybody gets tired of just scraping. The reclaimer makes pretty good money if you're crunching and you're selling, but with the state of the reclaimer and not being able to do the elevators and stuff, it just gets boring and tedious, and it's just not, it gets to be where it's just not fun because you know that the ship isn't supposed to work like that. So hopefully maybe we'll get a reclaimer buff sometime in the future, or at least a, you know, update to it. But guys, I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about the test. Let me know what you think about them, like, lowering those panels again. Do you care? Do you not care? Doesn't really matter. Just, you know, scrape around the verse, munch around the verse. But as always, thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.